Spinning.
And it says we're live. Welcome to the Gordox Pub. where I will be applying some Copic markers to this drawing of Batman that I did last stream. Even quicker because I ended up penciling and inking. This is an 11 by 14 piece of comic book paper that I just cut in half. And I inked with, I think Fudenosuke, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Fudenosuke and maybe a couple of Copics. And I'm finding my major black Copics are running out. I don't know if the tips are faulty or because they're just worn down or whatever, but so now I'm using my new set. And the black in this is not as stark as the black that I've already used, so I'm trying to use everything, like all the solid blacks are already in there, but I might go over them.
Wow, that got this dark. Black.
Did you turn off a light?
I went to your Twitch stream, and it. So the screen that's on right now, this is a document. This is the light I get from the document. Okay? But that's the light I get from your Twitch.
Oh, so it's the light that's from the Twitch page. You don't have an alternate light on you?
Well, not usually. But that's okay. I'll get it to work. There, that's better.
So I played with interesting shapes in the cape. I didn't use any reference really for the Batman. I just did a Jeff Loomis head and thickened it a little bit with where skin would be, and then kind of laid out where the light source was, and then played around from there. I probably shouldn't have done a lot of cross-hatching and feathering lines because I'm using Copics, but I think at the time I wasn't sure if I was going to use Copics or not.
Oh.
Seems we get one viewer off the bat every time that doesn't speak.
Well, part of that might be me.
Part of that might be you.
Well, because I have your Twitch stream on one half of my monitor, and I've got the StreamYard on my laptop monitor or screen. And then I've got a document up primarily for light. Because the light behind me isn't enough. The light below me isn't enough. And I suppose I should get...
So you should get... Hold on a second. I think I might have something... You should get a light like this.
Okay.
What really is that? It's a light that clips on your the back of your laptop or whatever, back of your monitor, and you can direct that light, and you got power on the light, and then you can control how bright or dark it is, or how cold or warm it is.
Wow. Where did you pick that little bad boy up?
You can get it on Amazon pretty cheap, but Jake is the one that got this for me. It is called, it's a Logitech light. So, yeah, it can be pretty bright. So, but it's pretty directional also, so you can limit where it's going.
Wow, that's interesting. Like one is like the first one that's sponsored is like $20.
Yeah, it's not expensive.
And then like the next one is $37, and then after that it's $50, and then $100, and then another. Like what? Okay, I don't think we need anything that pricey.
Well, I've got a big ring light that I got at Walmart, and it wasn't very expensive. And then I've got the one that's behind me, which you can see when I switch to my face. It's an alt light, but I had it for tattooing for a long time. So,
wow, that's cheap enough. I don't even have to. My wife and I have a general rule. We normally don't give a crap about whose money it is, because in the grand scheme of things, it's the family's money.
Right.
And yeah, the $20 one, but we have this rule that anything over $50, you got to ask the other person for permission. Unless like you're buying groceries, which, like that's always over $50, but
right.
That's kind of, or, paying the electric bill. like those things are kind of, grandfathered in, I guess. But if it's something,
those are understood to have permission because of their necessities.
Yeah. But like this light, $20. I don't have to ask. I can just get it. Yeah, it's got a clip.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?
I'm thinking that might work. And I can have it by tomorrow. Supposedly. I swear, half the time Amazon says it's going to be, oh yeah, get it by tomorrow. And then it's like, Until, like, oh, sorry, can't do that.
You got to look at it this way. It's not Christmas, so it's going to be a lot quicker.
Yeah, probably. Ooh. Oh. Must stop shopping. Okay. That's the other bad part.
So if the item's less than 50, can you just get stuff up to 50, or
oh yeah,
or you can get anything that's not $50?
Well, I mean, I don't think my wife or I we're neither one of us is going to try to screw the other person over.
Well, yeah.
Why in the world? Okay, well, whatever. Yeah. Yay. I like getting presents.
That's how I felt when I got my Oriental Heroes comics. I was like, ooh, it's like Christmas. I just got a chunk of my childhood back.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's one of those things where it's like, if someone gave me a comic book subscription, I would be so stoked. which is dumb because I could go out and get any comic book subscription I want. But yeah, I would never do it because now I'm like a responsible adult. So
Well, nowadays you probably don't want the comic subscriptions.
probably true.
It's really hard to read a comic that's not like. I saw a review of Hawk Girl. That's a new thing, and Hawk Girl and Superman are fighting these aliens for no particular reason at the beginning, right? Which that doesn't bode well for a comic when there's no particular reason to be fighting the aliens. There's no motivation from the aliens. There's no real concern.
Tights on for some reason.
No real concern from the superheroes either. Like, it's like anybody could just defeat these aliens. If Superman's defeating them, what do you need Hawkgirl for?
Yeah.
Right? So, anyway, because the whole issue is really about this friend of Hawkgirl's who got a divorce, and now she thinks that she's at least bi, maybe lesbian, and maybe not even a girl. And then within minutes, she's hitting on Hawkgirl, right? And Hawkgirl's turning her down as nicely as she can, which is a surprise because that's not the way they tend to go lately.
Right.
And then she's with this other girl talking about that she screwed up with her or whatever, and she's like, she's not gonna just drop in, and then Hawkgirl falls through a window unconscious, pretty much laying spread eagle. Like, the whole comic book is questioning sexuality and binary and all this, but it's not about being superheroes.
No, it's the soap operification of the comic.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, nowadays, that's what you get mostly when you're getting a comic subscription. You're getting a subscription to pretty much that.
Like soap opera?
Yeah, I mean, whatever the agenda is, and it's not like you're getting real action, because even the fight scenes in that, it was like 2 pages of fighting aliens for no particular reason, and then the rest of the comic book was all questioning sexuality, binary, identity, and all this stuff, right? So, I mean, like, if that's your interest, that's fine. I mean, I'm not telling you can't be interested in that or whatever, but for myself, that's not why I buy comic books. And I don't buy comic books to see if the superhero is straight, gay, or whatever their sex life is. I don't care. I don't really want to read about their sex life. I want to read about them fighting crime and how they, have to make sacrifices to do it. And that's kind of lost nowadays.
So, did you see what I posted on Facebook earlier?
Probably not.
So,
but maybe. I won't know until you say something.
We went to Taylor University today, where they were hosting the Grant County Special Olympics, okay. And amazingly enough, Stretch Murphy was there. That's the Marion mascot. For those that don't know. And so the Marion mascot walked around quite a bit, and you know, he was. I mean, people were thrilled to see him. And Taylor University is not in Marion; it's in Upland, which is, I don't know, about 20 minutes away. And it's not far, but still, it's it's still in the county, whatever. But yeah, it was just like those. There are a lot of people at basketball games that don't really care about the mascot. He doesn't get to do a whole bunch at the basketball games. And a lot of the people, I mean, especially the high schoolers themselves, just don't care. But man, those people at the Special Olympics, they were thrilled. Now, some of them were scared, but for the most part, it was a very positive experience. So that was kind of a nice deal. There was this one guy, big guy.
How was it for the mascot? What did he think about it?
Oh, it's terrible to wear the suit no matter what, because it's hot and gross. You just sweat. It's just nasty. But I mean, at the end, this big guy wanted a hug. The guy's about as big as I am. Might have been taller. I don't know. And he gave Stretch a hug. And at one point, I was like, do we have to like rescue him? Because the guy's not letting go.
Oh, was that sort of bug?
Yeah. But no, I mean, it was just really it was very cool. That group appreciates the mascot. The ones that aren't scared. Like there was one girl I hate things like that. And I think it was the girl's mother or something was like, that's a person in a costume. And the other girl was like, I don't care. I don't like it. I'm walking away. I'm just like, all right. But got to see my friend Timothy Bothman. He was kind of running things. And his wife was there. We walked right by his wife and never even saw her. Like she texted us, you guys are at Taylor, right? Like, it's not your doppelganger I just saw. Like, no. Like, yeah, we're here. We literally walked right by her. We were just kind of on a mission at the time. And so we didn't see her the first time. But then we stopped by and talked to her. But they've got a girl that they tend to watch on Saturdays. And they're very involved, I think, with Special Olympics and that kind of thing. Tim likes to do the thing where he'll run marathons pushing, somebody in a cart, basically. They're more than wheelchairs, but I mean, and
right.
He likes to do that kind of thing, which is cool. And, just one of those things. I was sitting there kind of thinking, I'm not going to, this is a big giant waste of my time and blah, blah, blah. And then we get there and it just really had a good time. Just seeing, people. There was this one kid, just kind of a bigger kid, comes up and starts doing muscles to to Stretch, the mascot. Just so then they had like a
we see that at events where they're doing cartwheels or they're dancing, and it's just great to see them having such a good time.
Yeah. Now I don't think our Stretch can do a cartwheel. His head's too heavy.
I'm not talking about.
Okay.
Our mascot, I don't even know if we have a mascot, because ours is a shipbuilders. so I can't imagine it would be much.
Yeah, that'd be a little weird, but I suppose it could happen.
Well, it could be like the Patriot or something like that, but Bath's been shipbuilders for the whole time Bath has been. So,
Well, Stretch Murphy was originally a basketball player that went to Marion. I mean, there are pictures of him, and he was a tall guy, whatever. And so we've always been the Marion Giants, but they named the mascot after that guy. The sad part is a lot of people don't know that the mascot's name is Stretch Murphy. They have no idea. They just call it the Giant mascot or Mr. Giant or whatever, and they just don't know his name. And I constantly think I just think it would be an interesting, I don't know, community outreach, really, to kind of have a thing where you kind of like with Breaking Bad and Heisenberg, where he's like, say my name, but it would be Stretch Murphy, and just say my name and put up pictures of that around of the mascot, just to kind of get at the idea that his name is Stretch Murphy. And it's just the way to promote the school, promote the community involvement, that kind of thing. But I don't have that kind of pull, and I tried to start that, and they were like, no, don't do that. So, like, all right, fine.
you are really invested in team spirit.
Well, it helps with the school, and
Well, that's not a criticizing comment. I'm just saying, like, I'm surprised, but I'm seeing that you're really, really team spirit. You're really, I don't know, like, I could see you leading Spirit Day or something.
No, that's not my deal. Not at all. But
you sound like it, though.
no, they're my employer. I've spent 15 years working there. I see kids, and I want them to have the best experience they can have. And, I see that we have a resource, and I can't help but feel that it's being underutilized. Like, I don't care who's in the suit. It's the suit itself, the mascot itself. It's like, if a new business opens up in this town, they should be sending the mascot out to say, good, welcome him.
Right.
Or
whatever. I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever care about that much. Like, if I'm opening a business, I wouldn't look for the school mascot, but that's why I said that it sounds like you really have a lot of school spirit, because this is exactly what you're pushing, and I'm not against it. It's just that it's interesting to see, because I don't see that often in real life. It's like I see it in TV programs.
If you think about Marion Community Schools is one of the largest employers in the town. B, ignoring the fact that we employ a whole bunch of people, obviously, all the kids are coming through our school, or at least most of them are coming through our school system in this area. So, it's a vital part of the town. And if the town does not support the school, or vice versa, everyone suffers for it. Whereas if the school is supporting the town and the town supports the school, I think everyone tends to benefit. And Marion kind of has part of it's and I hate to say this, but it's true. It's looked down on by some of the surrounding areas because it's a larger, more urban school, which is really just code for it's got a lot of minorities in it, and there are people around the area that don't like that. which I think is crap, but because every school has problems, and it's not because of minorities, it's because, every school's dealing with children and they all have their own special little quirks. But whatever. So I just think, we can put up billboards and talk about how
problems on minorities is kind of crap.
Well, yeah, but I know that's what some of it is. But
no, I'm just saying to blame those problems on minorities.
I agree, but
school has minorities. That's bullshit.
It is, but I'm telling you right now. I know some of the local area schools, and there are people there that, they don't like Marion because it's got way too much of a tan. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I think it's great.
Some stupid shit.
Yeah. But, in Marion, you can get, more college credits out of Marion High School than I think any of the surrounding schools. We have the Career Center, which is, that's our vocational school that all the other schools feed into.
Maybe it's not because of the color so much as the advantages that come with it. And it's a bigger school, so you get more funds maybe or something like that.
Nah.
I'd like to think that people are better than that generally.
Well, I get it, except for I know the area. I've lived here long enough now. It's not everybody. Don't get me wrong. But, they tend to, they'll want to ship their kids off to these other schools because these other schools are, well, quite frankly, they're very pale. And I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. But I don't think you're getting a better education there by far. I think you get a much better education at my school. If you want an education, my school is great. If you don't want an education, you can, any school will do. So, Marion's got its problems, but it's definitely got its bonuses too. And I just like to highlight that, I suppose. Plus, if you think about it, schools are always asking businesses to help, can you help donate to this fund or that thing or that field trip or whatever, that sports team, whatever. The school's constantly asking for more. So it seems to me that they should give as well. It shouldn't just be that we ask other people to help us out. We should also be available to promote them and, make it more of a two-way street. Hey, I found out recently they're going to turn my favorite book into a TV series.
Oh, no.
I sincerely hope they drop all the COVID crap that's in this thing.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your literal favorite book.
No. What's really sad is I have 20 pages left to read. I don't even know if I have 20 pages. And I'm like, I'm gonna finish it because I'll finish it. If it wasn't for the COVID crap that just gets shoved down your throat, and I'm like, out of everything in this book, it's the COVID crap that I find the most or the least believable. I'm like, it's so dated. It lacks so much of the information that we have. And I'm like, oh God, this is terrible.
I hear there's supposed to be a new strain that's supposed to be 100% fatality rate.
Well, if that gets out, there's nothing we can do.
Mortality rate.
I don't think they're. Well, again, I mean,
nothing has ever been 100% mortality rate. Nothing.
Right, because it would kill the host fast enough that it would kill the virus. Like the host has to be able to survive to pass it on long enough, and if it can't do that, the virus will die.
Even the Black Death didn't even pass like 50%.
Right.
Of course, they didn't have anyone capable of really fighting the plague, so.
Right. And again, just to reiterate, I don't care what a writer wants to put on the page. Put it down whatever you want. Don't care. You know, if that's what you want to go with, that's what you want to go with. If you want to piss me off, okay, fine, whatever. But as soon as he lies about it in the afterword, that's the part that I just really, really find offensive.
Well, he's definitely agenda driven. His work has gone from pretty good with mistakes, with factual mistakes, to pedantic, rambling, verbose. Like I said, I mean, I don't know very many people who have finished one in a long time.
Oh, well.
Like I'm not saying that there hasn't been any, but I'm just saying there's not many. I would rather, when I'm reading, not read about anything that's dealing with any politics that have anything to do with the country I'm in. The only time that I like to read anything that's similar to politics is like spy fiction, where it's politics, but it's politics that nobody really either thinks about anymore, like the Cold War or something like that. Did you watch the Tucker Carlson interview with
Nope.
Putin? I watched part of it. Like I watched about half of it.
Well, I heard it's a couple hours long. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, it's 2 hours long because when the first question that he asks Putin is why he felt it was okay to, go into Ukraine.
Yeah.
And Putin actually knows the complete history. You know what I mean? So it's not like when I say the complete history, I'm not talking about like just the history of Russia or whatever, but it's like the history dealing with Ukraine.
Yeah.
Ukraine itself originally meant outskirts of Russia. And that's something that people don't know about. And he was explaining, and like he had documents that he gave Tucker Carlson that are copies of like ancient documents. Well, is it ancient? 13 and 1200s and stuff like that.
Okay.
Where, the Soviet states united under one religion. They united under the Eastern Orthodox religion. And the Pope and the Holy Roman Catholics or whatever the division is, wanted to get those people in Ukraine. Part of what's considered Ukraine now is southern Russia, and part of it's Yugoslavia. And this is the stuff that Putin was talking about, is that he has the knowledge of that. And he said he toured there really early, and where he toured, I think it's the South and West or whatever he was saying, when he toured there was no Ukrainian signs. They were literally in Yugoslavian and then Russian. And so ultimately, it was the Roman Church through Poland that caused the rift in the first place, right? And this is 1100s and stuff like that, all the way up to 1100s, I think, all the way up to 1600s or something. And they were so abused by the Roman Catholics that they literally begged to be part of Russia again. And that's the documents that he was handing to Tucker Carlson. So he said, you know, there certain parts of Ukraine have always been Russia, and Ukraine meant the outskirts of Russia. It was the Polish under the Holy Roman Empire that pressed Ukrainian as a different ethnicity. And
well, I'm not particularly worried about. I mean, I've known for a while about the different claims that Russia's had about Ukraine, and
well, that's what they're saying, is that he's not going to conquer Ukraine.
Oh, I know.
What he's trying to conquer is neo-Nazism.
Well,
and you really should watch it, because even if he's misleading us a little bit, I don't think he's intentionally misleading us. I think he absolutely believes in his cause. And I think that nobody's looking at it as the kind of cause that he is.
Well, that's one of the things that I've been, like, you know, I work with, you know, the social studies department at my school, and, you know the guys there pretty well. And when the Nord Stream was blown up, the Nord Stream pipeline, despite the fact that there is no reason on the planet for Russia to blow it up. None. Like, if nothing else, you just turn it off if it's Russia. You don't blow it up.
Right.
Like, it makes no sense. And the only response I got from the social studies department was, well, that's because Putin's crazy. He's just crazy. I'm like, that's your argument? Putin is crazy. But
yeah.
Biden,
yep, that's
Biden is what? I don't think he's crazy.
He's not competent to stand trial.
Well, I know he has dementia.
That would be kind of crazy.
Yeah, I know. I'm just floored by some of this stuff that people don't want to. Of course, you know, these are some of the same people that. Oh my God! Like, one of them had a stroke. Like, one of them, who's younger than I am, had a stroke, which is weird. Especially, except for, well, at least it used to be weird until COVID, and then somehow, miraculously, you know, sudden deaths just happen more often now. Cardiac events just happen more often now.
Oh yeah.
Strokes just happen more often now.
It's been literally proven that the cure, the shots, have caused strokes and heart attacks.
I know. So here's this guy who's had a stroke at a very young age, and thank God he survived. But he was thinking about getting boosted. I was like, wait, so you already had a stroke? And you want to just go ahead and do it again? Like, it... What? So whatever. Sometimes I'm just like, you just gotta walk away. Just
Yeah,
like,
you
all right,
can't.
I guess.
You can't tell some people. You
I
can
know.
try to help, but they're gonna decide what they're gonna decide, whether it makes sense or not.
Which, I'm okay with anyone deciding for themselves. It's when other people try to force it on others, and don't like that. So I don't like when people were talking about, yeah, if you don't get vaccinated, you should, basically be a pariah, and you should basically be rounded up and put in camps or forcefully vaccinated. It's like, what? Why?
That's bullshit.
Yeah, but that's what people were espousing. And it didn't make any sense whatsoever. It's like, well, wait, hold on. And this is the thing I still don't get about vaccines. It's like, wait, so if the vaccine, according to you, stops the spread, which we know isn't true, but that's what they kept saying. I mean, you can find clips of people on, like Rachel Maddow's a famous one. You get the vaccine, it stops right then. It cannot go on.
To qualify,
so why do you need other people to be vaccinated?
She's a famous what?
Yeah, I know. She's a famous liar. I mean, literally in court, they decided, well, no one really believes her, so you don't have to worry about it. Which people on Fox News have used the exact same defense, so I'm not going to,
Well, so look at what they did to fucking Alex Jones.
Oh, I know.
How the fuck is he at fault because he believed that Columbine was a conspiracy or whatever? If he really truly believes that, how is he at fault?
Hey,
he didn't hurt those families. He didn't hurt those families. He just believed what he believed. He got sued
by a guy that wasn't there, that he never mentioned. But they're like, well, I was part of the FBI, so yeah, I need $1 million too. And just because the guy knew about one of the shootings, was never mentioned, was never talked about, guy still won money. It's like, yeah, that seems a little shady.
Seems a little bit. Something's not quite right about that. Not sure what. Can't put my finger on it.
Or like that defamation suit against Trump, where it's like, wait, she can't remember any details? Like, as a matter of course, if you can't remember any details, how in the hell am I supposed to defend myself? Like, the reason why they don't ever have details is because A, it probably never happened, and B, because that way you can't prove them wrong.
Well, here's the thing. You can't prove a negative.
I know.
But more so, like, more another point, I guess, I would say, is that there is no $1 billion damages that you can do to someone who can't fucking remember it.
Right.
It's absolute bullshit. And there needs to be some justice in this nation, because a lot of these judges, and what people don't get is that the judgments that they're getting away with that are definitely biased and definitely bullshit all over the place, can now be used against the general public.
Yeah.
They can be weaponized at any time they want to against the general public. Because you accepted it. Yeah, because you accepted it for somebody that you felt poetically deserved it, and that's exactly what it is. They feel it's like poetic justice.
Well, that's
but because
the New York trial.
Because it's okay, because it's poetic justice for one person, what they don't realize is that now it's available to be used against them, and that's some fucking poetic justice in itself.
Well, yeah, but like the state of New York should be terrified, because all of the real estate developers in New York are being told very clearly, if we decide that we want it to, we can just take away all of your businesses.
Oh yeah.
Like that. Like this, they're basically saying, yeah, you don't need to have a victim. And I mean, I don't know. Every time I look at, I've yet to see a state, county, city ever who appraises anything accurately. And I mean, they sit there and say my house is worth like, I don't know, like I think the last time it was like 90 grand. And I'm like, there is no way in this lifetime I'm getting 90 grand out of this house. Not unless inflation goes really bad. And like it doubled in value in 1 year. And I'm like, from what? It's not like I did repairs or added on another section, but okay. So the state can basically say they can make up whatever value they want, and they do it all the time.
Oh yeah.
But Trump, who said, I think this is what this is valued at. It's been valued at more before, but I don't need that much, whatever. And other banks are, trying to do business with Trump, and they have people that go out and appraise it, and they do their due diligence. We're going to ignore all that, and we'll just say, we don't agree with your appraisal, and therefore, we think it's worth, I think they said like something like 19 million, which I don't think you could buy a postage stamp size house in that neighborhood for 19 million. So I don't know what, I mean, it was ridiculously low.
It's all bullshit. But
that means New York, though, can steal your property, can steal your business, right. Can do all those things. And that's it's the like Trump president.
California. Yeah, California can commit fraud with you if it's in a movie deal, and you can't sue them in California because that's not fraud in California. Like they can do a back end deal, like they can say, all right, I'm gonna, instead of giving you X million for your IP, I'm gonna give you certain percentage of the back end, right?
Which you should never do.
Afterwards. Well, that's because while it's in production, they claim a loss, and they sell the rights to it, right? And here's the thing: they sell the rights to it to another company they own. Mm-hmm. So that's fraud anywhere else in the United States.
Well, that's because every movie starts off as its own company. They do that as a matter of course. It's their own company. It's a
they can go bankrupt.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like Dave Farland preached that as for writers to never accept a percentage of the deal at the end. And it sounds sweet to hear about it like with Harrison Ford and all them, but they're actors, so they're going to get that anyway because these people are going to want them to act for them again.
Right.
But
they don't care once they have your property.
A good example is the Cheetah Girls. The woman that wrote the Cheetah Girls, she had that kind of deal, and it made a loss before it even made general public in the film. Right? It never was produced before it made a loss, quote unquote. So she got nothing, and they made millions off the Cheetah Girls, and she got nothing.
Right.
That's why you never trust Hollywood like that. Never. But it's the same thing. So Hollywood and New York are really closely tied because they're both corrupt. But but that's not what the point was. It's they're really closely tied because Hollywood was producing movies, and New York was producing TV shows and books and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they're really closely tied as a matter of IPs. Of course, they didn't call them that back in those days, but
Oh.
yeah, it's incredible that what the shit that they get away with. That's criminal anywhere else. And it's criminal. We know it's criminal. But they just can get away with it because it was a corrupt system to begin with. And then they blame it on capitalism.
I think Mario Puzo also wrote about that.
Mario Puzo?
Yeah.
It
wasn't a Godfather book, but it was a lot like a Godfather book, and it was all set in Hollywood. It had some woman in it that's, that there's a thread of somebody throwing acid on her or something.
Fools Die, maybe? I'm trying to figure out which books that he had. Like a lot of his books were Godfather based or Godfather mafia based books. Like my favorite is the Godfather and then the Sicilian. And the Sicilian is basically Robin Hood.
No.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I mean, I know Fools Die was a personal book for him. I don't think it was set in Hollywood. I think it was in Las Vegas. It was about gambling. But it was
maybe
like
that's what I'm thinking about.
It was a personal book for him, though. And then he did another one that was a personal book that he didn't actually finish. He died, and his fiance finished. Was The Family, which was about the Borgias.
God. All right, go this way. Like everything on the first 20 things I found all about the Godfather. Like,
yeah,
no,
that's because you're gonna find that's his most common.
Oh, I know that.
Well, it's not just the Godfather. Godfather, The Last Don, Omerta. There's kind of a series of them.
Yeah, I know.
And the Sicilian is not a Godfather book, but it's where Michael Corleone goes when he kills the chief of police.
Yeah.
He's sent to Sicily. And he stays with someone that's in The Godfather, or the Sicilian. So actually, Michael Corleone and Salvatore Giuliani cross paths at some point. But it's not a Godfather book.
Just let me go to my account. Eh. Don't know.
Can't find it, huh?
Nope.
What was your search criteria?
It might be Fool's Die.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, because it's
Hotel
Gambler.
Xanadu. That sounds about right.
What's that?
It's been a while since I've read it, so I'm just reading the Wikipedia page. Like, I'm skimming the Wikipedia page. That might be it. Huh. I don't know. Don't remember. Ooh. Oh, gosh darn it. I can't do that. Right now, I have you on a smaller screen because when you're on the laptop screen, the way I have it set up, it looks more like I'm looking into the camera. Whereas if I put it up on the big screen, it looks like I'm just looking up in the air and I look stupid. So whatever, okay, cool. So I wanted to see it bigger, so I made it the screen the whole. You know, I maximize my screen, but then I can't see the comments. And well, you know, I'm kind of here for the comments, so. Ooh. Ooh, no, I don't have to do that. New chat things will pop up in my corner. Did not know that.
Do we have any chat?
Currently, no. But still. It's one of those things where I'd like to be able to do my job.
One of my favorite things about these markers is that you can color over darker and lighten the value.
Oh, yeah?
You just have to wait for it to dry. Like all this stuff's going to be brighter because I just went over it with a lighter value. You sound like you're angry at something.
Oh, no, it's just, it's getting warm. I don't know why my office area tends to get warm at night, especially if I'm working in it. And I'm not going to take my shirt off in front of the camera. You know, I realize we got that adult content label, but still, I don't think that should be legal. So, might give someone a heart attack, get them all Twitter pated. But I was trying to turn my fan on without having to get up.
I keep hitting the mic with my hats. I'm also wearing over-the-ear headphones now, so.
Oh. Batman needs to shave.
That's part of his disguise, because, you know, he shaves when he's Bruce.
That's what I've always thought about the guys from ZZ Top with those big beards. I'm like, I would get fake ones of those that I could take off. So if I wanted to be anonymous, I could just, and then.
Oh, they probably got fake ones that they can take off too.
I would hope.
I know Billy Gibb was on the hell was this? Bones?
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he played one of the characters' fathers. Oddly enough, the Asian girl. I shouldn't say Asian, she's probably American.
Is she of Asian descent?
She appears to be. Have you ever seen Bones?
Nope. Isn't that like a procedural type show?
Yeah, right. It's based on a real forensic pathologist that solved a lot of crimes, a lot of murders. But it steps beyond real life, you can tell. It's like, you've seen Warehouse 13, right?
I've seen it.
Okay.
Like, I didn't watch it, but I've seen it, if that makes sense. Like, I've seen like an episode.
So you'll know what I'm talking about when I say the FBI that are the ones that are running around collecting all this stuff.
Yeah.
Between the two of them, they're not very bright, but they're FBI investigators.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's going on with Bones too. Like, the FBI that's stationed to deal with them he's just a jock. He's a dumb jock. And all the people that are working for her team are scientists, and basically he would never catch a criminal without them, because that's the FBI generally hires incompetence. I guess they do nowadays, but
that's why they have to.
I guess I'm too quick to defend them now.
That's why they have to entrap people, so that you can't fight real crime. You have to go make it up.
I really don't like the fact that nowadays most procedural shows or whatever make the investigators out to be idiots.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's like they did that with Castle too, and I'm like, so the top New York investigative team, the top New York detectives, murder detectives, can't figure out what an author can, because the author is used to thinking of scenarios, right?
Right.
They've been doing real life crime while he's doing these scenarios, but they can't think of shit without him.
Well, it's just like The Mentalist. My God, they have their fake California FBI, whatever it's called. And I swear, none of them are good for anything except for their consultant does all the work. It's like...
That's what my problem is with most of them nowadays, is because they don't make their characters smart. They can only make one character smart. So all the rest of them are inherently dumb.
Right.
And if I'm watching a show and I'm smarter than them and I already know who the bad guy is or who did it, why do I need to watch the show anymore?
That's kind of what they did, I felt like, on this season of Reacher.
Yeah, like they
I
dumbed
mean, it wasn't
him down
terrible.
by bringing in all these other. The one that they brought in first, the private investigator. He's
Yeah.
all of a sudden too dumb to come up with this. He's just a big jock that kicks in doors now. Even though he put together this team because he could tell by reading their dossiers and dealing with them how well they would do on a team, right?
Right.
But he's too stupid to,
Well, I don't know if it was
do
that
anything
bad.
without him. Yeah, pretty close.
I suppose I've
think-
seen way worse, so therefore I don't think it's that bad.
I think their saving grace. Really, they did, but I think their saving grace was that they made Reacher into Samwise. He was the faithful one. He was the one that kept the faith in the people he chose.
Right.
So the question of loyalty, or the question of the one guy that could be doing wrong.
That was BP.
Yeah, that was BP.
Sorry.
But yeah, like, because they raised that question of whether one of his team was corrupt, and part of that, and led to the deaths of the other members of this team, and he held the faith. That made him the special guy for that season. That's what was special about him. They weakened him as an investigator character.
I read an
But I
article
guess-
today.
They probably didn't care, though. You know what I mean?
But I read an article today that defended the Tom Cruise Jack Reacher, saying that the character as written, which the current guy is way more accurate for.
Yeah, Alan Richardson.
Yeah, that he's not. That character isn't really believable as an investigator because he'd be too noticeable. So,
Well, I mean, there's a degree of truth to that, but like,
yeah,
if you stick to the literature, you stick to the literature.
yeah,
I thought that the Tom Cruise version was okay, but it's not Reacher. The same way that I love the Jason Bourne movies, but they're not Jason Bourne in the book.
oh yeah. The books are wildly different.
Yeah, I mean, well, anything past the first book is so different that it's unrecognizable. The two sequels, the Bourne Supremacy and the Bourne, what the hell was the other one?
There's the Bourne Ultimatum, the Bourne
Ultimatum.
Supremacy. Yeah,
Those two were vastly different as books, because so in the first one, the woman that he meets, that he pays, she's not like a free floating hippie or whatever. She's a Canadian economist
right.
that he met on that misadventure. But in the first one, he was hunting down the jackal. He was trying to draw out the jackal. And there's
Right.
several layers to the character, even in the first one, that are never, it takes them 3 movies to explore them, and they still miss a level. And the two sequels in the books, the woman that is the French whatever that he uses to escape. She is an economist and becomes his wife. And the second book takes place in China.
And she gets shot in the second film, or maybe at the end of the first film.
Yeah, she dies in the beginning of the second film, but she's in the third book, and so is his kid. And they're actually fleeing the jackal. So it's like you could have tried a little bit. The material is there. The second book there in China, and there's a whole series of different issues. That they could deal with, but instead of doing that, they chose to go to something that didn't really even exist. I guess on one hand, I understand that a little bit, that they're making him a more modern, like American James Bond or whatever, but Robert Ludlum wrote a lot of spy characters like that. And his James Bond character goes back to Vietnam. It had a lot of stuff that you could have involved historically with it that they didn't. Medusa was... I don't even know if they covered Medusa. Like, really covered Medusa in the films. And that was a big deal because it drove him to... He had a wife that was murdered in Vietnam. He was a prisoner of war in Vietnam. All that stuff, couldn't possibly come out in this movie because it was set so that he would have been too old,
right,
as a Vietnam vet. But they didn't even try. They could have, adjusted the Vietnam narrative to Iraq or something like that.
Hi, Ephraim. I never saw your... All right, I don't trust StreamYard now. Ephraim's been on here, or he said hello at 9:28. I never saw it when it was on my... Man.
Oh, it's 6 minutes ago.
I'm glad I double checked. I don't know why. I was just thinking, I should look. Just to check.
Well, if you were watching on Twitch, you wouldn't have saw Ephraim anyway because he didn't come in on Twitch.
Well, I've got Twitch on one screen, and then I have StreamYard on a different. But I had StreamYard on the full screen, and I don't think I got the notification. Or if I did, I just didn't see it. I don't know. So I liked having it on the big screen, like as big as I could, full screen on my laptop, so that because it looks different on the different screens, and I kind of like it on my laptop better. So, you know how obviously if Marvel were to create a character and call him Batman, I'm pretty sure they'd be sued. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't call him Batman. You know what they call him?
Flying Rodent Man? I don't.
Nope, they called him Moon Knight.
Oh well, okay, whatever.
That's like DC. When they created Wolverine, they called him Lobo.
Oh, I don't know.
No,
Hey.
I know. This is factual stuff, not guessing.
Well, okay. 6B Pencil Joe says Horseman. I don't.
All right.
So welcome 6B Pencil Joe and Horseman.
I've been saying nobody's been listening to me where all that the horseman crap came up. Horseman already exists. It's already an existing comic. So if Eric July creates Horseman, just Horseman like he is,
Yeah.
he's gonna get sued again.
Well, okay, so this gets back to my question. Okay. So, by the way, thank you for pointing me to Comic Vine. I think I found that once or twice before on my own, but yeah, that's a great resource. Anyway, so I was looking up, like I was scrolling through Facebook and I see something about gladiatrices. I think that's how you pronounce it. Female gladiators.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh, singular, that'd probably be gladiatrix.
Didn't they?
That's
Yeah,
kinda...
they already did they had a gladiatrix. I want to say show.
Well, okay, but so
Well,
I'm on Comic Vine, and I look up gladiatrix, and lo and behold, there's a comic book. Oh, there's another. Oh, wait, one's DC, one's Marvel, one was some other company. I'm like, whoa. So all these companies have a character named Gladiatrix.
Yes.
So I don't understand how that works.
Well, because Gladiatrix is like Thor.
Oh, gotcha.
It's a real historical.
Right, you really can't, because there have been other Thors too. Just
because Thor is the god of thunder. So you can make him a Marvel comic book character, and you can create his uniform to look different, and you can change his hair from blazing red to yellow or blonde, and then DC can make a Thor, but they can't make a Thor that's exactly the same.
Right.
And they did, by the way, because Neil Gaiman uses Thor a lot. So in Sandman.
Yeah.
In Sandman, there's Thor makes an appearance. He does that a lot. He uses a lot of, and I'm sure American Gods, Thor is going to make an appearance or makes an appearance too. I think he did in the book. But yeah, he likes to go into mythology like that.
So although Marvel's already done this, but let's say you go back 30 years or so, and Marvel has the Green Goblin and the Hobgoblin, and that's it. If DC had wanted
I don't know
to do
that's particularly true though.
At that time in the 90s,
Yeah, I think there was another Goblin earlier than that, like in the 80s, early 80s, late 70s maybe.
what other? Because there was Green Goblin. That's the first one,
Uh-huh.
and then
There were
check
more
out-
than one Green Goblin too, though.
Right, but I'm saying I mean, because different people took on the mask.
I just think there was another one too, but it may not have been a long-lived or whatever.
Well, there was at least I know of a red one now, like a Red Goblin. But before they had come up with Red Goblin, technically DC could have done Red Goblin. You know, I was like, oh, you've got the Green Goblin, we've got you got the green one, we got the red one, or whatever, because you can't really copyright Goblin.
Nope.
All right.
They can't copyright Goblin. But
Oh God,
if they had a character that was just the Goblin,
yeah,
then they could, as far as comic books go, unless there was another. So, for instance, there's a series of books that was made into a movie called The Saint.
right.
That's about
Also,
a
it's a TV
thief.
show.
It was a series of books that was turned into them, and it's about a thief that's supposed to, like the thief with the heart of gold theory.
Yeah, I know.
But
Actually, I think there have been 2 TV series on that. But anyway, go ahead.
they can't create, like, if they can't create and copyright the Saint as a character without the chance of them getting sued by the estate of the Saint because it's in print. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, if it was based on a real historical character, like Gladiatrix, you can watch the History Channel and you see specials on Gladiatrix because there was a real Gladiatrix. But if it's not in print, like even if somebody made a movie, if somebody made a movie and, like, say, I'm trying to think of a movie that's not related to something in print. Gone in 60 Seconds.
Okay.
That could be a viable comic book name. They would just have to separate the plot and the characters from the plot and the characters in the movie. It couldn't be about car thieves. It couldn't be about that particular setup. Because it's not copyrighted in print, they can do a distorted version of it. It's really weird, because that's what you're doing with copyright is you're copyrighting anything that goes in print, where it's written. I don't know, nowadays I guess it's IP, but originally it was what was in print.
So, for like the first 10 minutes after 6B Pencil Joe wrote Horseman, in my head, every time I read that, A, it was Horseman, not Horseman. and B, I kept thinking of BoJack Horseman, and
Okay, so this is the issue: is that this is what's going on in the comic community right now.
oh yeah,
These same things, yeah. Like people are reading it. I guess it is the Horseman. The way he's writing it as Horseman,
yeah,
that's the way people are making fun of it. But Horseman means someone that rides a horse.
yeah, I know. And they were fearsome.
If
warriors.
you look at the character, he's basically like a Punisher or a Midnighter character, Batman-ish character, but with a horse's head helmet.
Oh, well, there you go.
And so, like I've heard the claim now that he is a horseman because it's Chuck Dixon that's writing it.
Ah,
But the thing is that there already is a literal comic book named Horseman. You can look it up. It's there. It's not a mainstream comic. It was more of an independent comic, but it's a comic. And those people that made that comic, they should sue. You know what I mean? Because you should make money off that IP because they obviously only made so much money off that IP. If everybody thinks that's an original idea nowadays. But yeah, holding that copyright, that they should be on to that.
yeah.
It is kind of like I've heard that it's stupid because what can a horse do? A horse it's a beast of burden and blah blah blah. Well, there's some fucking dumb names for superheroes.
Yeah.
And that's not restricted to the Horseman.
Strong guy. He's my favorite.
Yeah, well, yeah, but they called him Guido more than Strong Guy.
Right. Which is still not the best. I don't know.
Right. I mean, I'm just saying, like, there's some really dumbass names for them to just pick on Horseman as the dumbest name. They could have picked stronger names. Think about it, like, because Rocky was the Italian stallion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Daredevil, it's not Daredevil, because Daredevil's ability is that he's blind, and he can hear well, and he's magnified hearing. But Daredevil is Batman, these are all kind of the same character. Midnighter. Midnighter is the gay Batman. He's the gay Daredevil.
See, I've always thought Daredevil was the poor man's Spider-Man.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Nah.
They both swing around from rooftops with...
No, they don't.
Okay, one has webbing and one has the whatever that his cane is that can stretch out as far as he needs it to.
No, it's limited on how far it can stretch out. He's blind.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's not blind.
Right. So
he's a lawyer. He's
blind.
It's a whole different.
Yeah. He's blind, but he's perfectly aware of his surroundings, and Spider-Man has a Peter tingle, but Daredevil can just hear it all. I mean, it's just. I'm sorry.
It's not just hearing all. It's sonar, and there's other factors because there's some fucking nuclear waste or whatever that's involved.
Yep.
So, I mean, you're oversimplifying it. That's like saying Spider-Man's just Tarzan.
I'd say there are more differences between Tarzan. You were saying that one character Batman or Daredevil was Batman, and I think it's
no. Joe was saying that. I was saying that the Marvel version of Batman was Moon Knight, and that's in fact what Moon Knight was created to be.
I get that, and I don't think that's wrong or non-factual. I just think that
And
the
like
character.
they changed the characters after a while. They
Right.
gave them a lot more of their own personality, but that's what they started to be. But
I agree.
I don't think Daredevil is any more Spider-Man than Spider-Man's Tarzan. I think they're totally different stories about totally different people. The only thing that you're showing me in common is that they wear a suit and they swing around town. But that's basically Tarzan without the suit, so I think it's quite different to have a blind character that's relying on sound, and a flaw being, he can be overloaded with sound, which Spider-Man can't be overloaded with his spider senses. That's a whole different thing, and I'm not even sure if I dig the spider senses thing, but I guess it's because when you try to squash a spider, he jumps, and often they can jump faster than you can get them. But I mean, they're totally unrelated stories. They're both red except for Spider-Man's red and blue.
Well, sometimes he is, and sometimes he's black, and he's been red, white, and blue.
Spider-Man's never been black. It's always been Venom.
Well, sort of. We didn't know he was Venom.
Oh, well, we didn't know it, but he was.
But, anyway.
And black is not red.
And
Daredevil started off as yellow.
Yeah, he was yellow, which I always thought was kind of strange, but
that's why they changed the color.
Yeah, they made him look more like Spider-Man.
Yeah, I don't think that's what was in their mind, but you can tell yourself that.
Oh, I don't know. Why not just make him black? That would have been sweet.
Nobody's going to believe that he was a black lawyer.
No. Oh, that's terrible. I meant the suit.
We just lost another follower. Ow.
Oh, so bad. So bad.
I was doing good for a day or so.
Yeah, and then you turned the camera back on.
No, then you came back. If you want to get technical, the difference is between you being here and us talking about shit like that and me just drawing.
Yeah. Yeah, see, part of that was the original line of thinking. I saw the Gladiatrix thing, and then I looked that up, and I kind of noticed the things. And then later on, I saw a clip from a movie I had never seen with, oh God. Who's the original Magnum P.I.?
Tom Selleck?
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, it was a Western.
There's another one?
Yeah, there's a modern Magnum P.I.
Well, you think it's, but not really.
Yeah. So, anyway, it was called Shadow Riders, I think, and so I went and Googled Shadow Riders, looking to like see if it's streaming anywhere, and I saw it was. The first thing that actually came up was this series of books that has nothing to do with it's like fantasy stuff. So
is it fantasy? Because it almost sounds like a Willie Lamore.
Well, that's because it was. Like, okay, so there's like a modern book series that's fantasy, and then yeah, the movie that Tom Selleck was in was based off of Louis L'Amour books.
Okay.
And I was like, but they're called. Okay, I don't know. I was just confused by is the title.
Oh, that had to be like the Sackets or something, right?
I don't know.
Because Tom Cruise and Sam Elliott.
Tom Selleck.
Yeah, Tom Selleck and Sam Elliott. And I think Bill Paxton.
Yeah, Sam Elliott was in that.
Yeah, they were playing the Sackets together.
Yeah, brothers.
Yep, the Sackets.
Well, I don't know.
That was Louis L'Amour's big saga. They were.
Well,
it was following a real family.
The clip. I just saw a clip. That's all I saw, and it was enough to establish that they were brothers. But that was about it. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they were brothers that were on the opposite sides in the Civil War or something like that.
Yep. Tom Selleck played the northern guy.
Yep. Sam Elliott was the Confederate.
Yep. So it's just, I don't know.
There was another brother involved in all that too, and it's not Bill Paxton. I was thinking Bill Paxton played him, but it wasn't. I could just picture the guy's face, and it wasn't Bill Paxton. More's the pity, because I like Bill Paxton in those types of roles too. They originally wanted Tom Selleck to play Indiana Jones.
Yep. I just really can't see him having the same energy.
I don't know. I maybe could. He had a lot of energy when he played Lassett and Quigley Down Under, and I could see him. You know, at first I was like, yeah, I couldn't see him in the fedora, but I actually could. You know, now I've seen a lot more with him in it than what I did, and once you get used to him being in westerns anyway. Sounds like you're breathing heavy.
Well, fine. I am breathing heavy. Did you know that Wendy's has a spicy chicken nugget?
Yep.
I did not know that till tonight when I went to get myself.
I only used to go there for the chili and those spicy nuggets.
Oh, well. I went to do the drive-thru tonight, and I said I would like one nugget bucket, which is a 50-piece nugget bucket. It's wonderful. It's like $15. And the guy's like, would you like that in regular or spicy? And I was like, oh, I mean, it's just a whole new world opened up before my eyes. So.
Well, I'm sorry you missed out on it all this time.
Oh.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I'm a hot food fan anyway, so.
I am till I hit my limit. I mean, that's about this way I could ever put it. Like, I can eat like there. I don't know. Like there's like my son will sit there and just load stuff up just to be hot. And I'm like, all right, all right, but
my rule is that I don't want it
suffer.
too hot to. I don't want it too hot to taste what I'm tasting.
Yeah,
so
I don't want to.
That's my limit. Like, and the only reason that it's a limit is because I want to taste my food.
Right. That's my thing. I'm like, if I can't taste the food, if all I'm doing is feeling the heat, then, it's not that great of an experience. I can just jab needles in my tongue and call it good. You know?
Well, there is a certain there's a certain level of heat that will actually get you high.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons that there is celebrations of heat, like there's festivals with people that love hot food, and they bring hot chocolate chip cookies and hot ice cream and stuff like that. And that's one of the reasons that they do, is because once you reach a certain level on that scale, it actually gives you a buzz.
Well, God bless them for finding that out, but I don't want to.
Well, your level will be different than their level.
Oh.
Because
I don't want to go searching.
It's one of those things that you're going to build up a tolerance to, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's just an interesting side note or whatever. That's one of the reasons that people are not worried about the taste and with some of the hot food, because it's a legal buzz. So.
Huh. I have to go take care of my dog.
Of course you do.
Well, she's shaking her collar and everything. So, anyway, I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, I'll try not to say anything to get us banned while you're gone. Clunk, clunk. That is my head. No worries, it wasn't anything important. Well, that was a fully ignorant joke. And not even what I was originally thinking. But it's too late to turn back now.
I'm back.
It sounded like it.
No, I am breathing heavy. Oh my goodness. It's that running up and down stairs thing.
Well, what subjects can we talk about that aren't taboo?
I have no idea.
Watched the Trump speech earlier. He was tracking me up.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I think it's an old one. Like it was like a couple of days old or yesterday or something like that. But he was talking about every time he flies over a blue state, he gets a subpoena. He said, I'm being persecuted for you. Said, people have been asking him if he could do it all over again, would he? And he's like, oh yeah. Because he fully believes that that's what the country needs. It's so strange. The climate, the people, even like now the news stations are starting to turn. You start hearing the news stations talk about the flaws of the current president and administration. And he's doing stupid shit live, so, you know. What can they say, you know? Does that read well?
It's upside down.
Yeah, but can you tell what it is?
Batman sleeping.
Yeah, right. He's a little tired right now. So he's just gonna hang out upside down for a little while in his natural state. I don't have any of my pencils, any of my drawing pencils in the room with me. And I'm trying to make the top border where it's not so dark that it can't be lifted.
Six-B pencil clips said Superman.
Huh?
6B pencil. Oh, sorry. 6B pencil Joe. Oh. Now there's a scratch in my desk, and I. Wow. 6B pencil Joe said Superman.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that is way easier to read on Twitch. Different screens.
Yeah, it's really weird. I can't watch it on Twitch, so. Wow, what was that?
It's my wife coughing.
No. Not unless you had a bass,
Oh, okay.
deep bass cough.
A deep bass rumbly cough. No? Six-Speed Pencil Joe said, I love the sound of markers against paper. Soothing. Makes me sleepy.
Before I got on stream today, by odd coincidence, I was working on a comic strip.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Are you allowed to talk about said comic strip, or?
Well, I'm allowed to, but I don't know if I want to talk about it publicly. But
No.
Just the same, too, the discussion of doing a comic book online or on stream.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, the more I like the idea.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where it'll be hard to stay with it and not deviate from doing that.
So why not try? I think there's an intermediate step you could take. Instead of a full comic book, you do a comic strip, which, you know, is proof of concept or whatever, but also is workable and finishable in less time because it's less work. I don't know. 6-Speed Pencil Joe said, oh yeah, tell Rich to look up 7 Mile Straight City. I'm tired and not sure this. I'm tired and not sure the name, but it's a multi-level city being built in Saudi Arabia. I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of them. Kinda. If there's one in China, I'm pretty sure there's one in Japan too. That is as much vertical as it is horizontal. But that's like, so my thoughts were about this multi-level that it wasn't really functioning. It was all of it held together basically by tape and grit, if you will. It's just the upper levels had something different. They just don't even look at any of the lower levels. They don't consider any of the lower levels. Like I was thinking of that kind of thing, but as ruins, you know, like it was once a great city and now it's not.
6B Pencil just said nothing like this one of a kind will house 9 million people, but for his one script idea.
Yeah, I've been tweaking on that script and changing it here and there and adding to it, cleaning it up a little bit, making it cleaner, clearer. Really, like ordering the first 12 issues of Oriental Heroes helped my thinking a little bit too, so. Because it's old-time comic book storytelling. It's not none of the crap that we're dealing with today. It's concentrating on telling a good story in multi-levels.
Right.
And a lot of panels for an Asian comic book too, you know. Usually Asian comic books like to have 3 or 4 big panels. Sometimes they've got 7 or 9 panels.
6B Pencil Joe said they are just starting to dig a 7-mile long trench for this city. Wild concept. Entire top level will be trees, parks, outdoor areas, etc. Everything run by AI and robots. Video on YouTube.
The idea of having like verdant rooftops, that's not really original. But I don't think I'd want to live anywhere that 9 million people are pretty much controlled by AI and robots. So weird. Somehow you think that would be against their religion, right? Clunk. I wonder, and this is going to sound worse than it is, but I wonder if anybody's ever tried to use AI to do Mohammed. So I know that they've got some kind of ban on making physical representations or artistic representations. Wonder if it's set to shut that down if somebody asks.
Yeah. It's not worth asking.
What's that?
I'm not going to try that one. Nope.
Well, I'm not saying, hey, if they get results posted.
No.
I'm just wondering if it's set to discriminate against that.
I would somewhat assume you would have.
I don't know.
I think that kind of thing would have probably made news.
Well, if somebody tried it or posted it, I don't think it would have made news if it was a banned thing.
No.
Look it, because the Facebook shit didn't make news until fucking Zuckerberg put a continue on anyway fucking button on the child kidnapping or whatever. You would have never known about that unless he put that button on there and one of the concerned parents saw it. Nobody did ahead of time. He didn't announce it. Hey, if you're looking to hook up with kids, you can still hook up with them. We'll put a stop on it, but you'll have a choice to continue anyway. You just love how he was saying, it's not our job to stop people from going anywhere, blah, 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 getting information. It's our job to give them the tools. Like, really? Because you stop true reports all the time.
Hey, Efrain wants to know if you like Metallica.
Yeah, older stuff.
Yeah, it's hit or miss with me. I mean, in general, yes. But there are some things I was.
Yeah, you know, pre the Black Album, and then after the Black Album, the occasional song or two, but before the Black Album, pretty much everything. Oh, you're talking about the city being run by AI? Yeah, I'm sure they are trying to put it into action. And I'm going to use this acrylic gouache to get a couple of highlight spots. Oh, not that one. That wouldn't give me highlights because it's black. That would give me the opposite of highlights.
Ephraim said nice.
I really wish I'd quit clunking my head. As I was saying it, I'm clunking my head.
Yeah. All for your entertainment.
All for you. All for you.
Six-Speed Pencil Joe said, "Holy crap, there's a half-naked Chinese girl dancing on Twitch."
What?
I believe that might be in reference to your arm, Rich. And there she is. Oh, apparently not. Because 6 Feet Pencil Joe said she's got 11,000 viewers. What Rich needs to get.
Ask her if she wants to come over here and dance. Damn.
Asian Bunny X. I gotta go. Oh. 6 Feet Pencil Joe said it's under recommended channels. It's really stupid, but I was surprised to see her jiggling for the camera. I say, good for you.
She's really naked because there's a lot of people that, a lot of folks, when they changed the law, not law, but I guess, rules to Twitch where you could have artistic nudes, they started either drawing or taking their tops off or whatever, and then they found out the hard way that you could still get shut down.
Six Speed Pencil Joe says all she's doing is jiggling her thong ass for the camera, and simps are sending her cash. What a way to make a living. Well, that's my retirement plan.
Well, that's not new. That's not a surprise. Did you say thong?
Yeah, thong.
Yeah. See,
Oh.
well, no. The thing about that is if you look at Twitch's rules before that artistic ruling, you couldn't show a thong either, unless it was on accident because it was on the beach or something like that. I guess that's about as done as it gets. Yeah, I can't see any channel over there. Well, if you look to the left of our channel, there should be suggested channels and other channels that are on.
Yeah.
Like if you follow any channels. The suggested channels are underneath the ones that you're following, or probably just the ones off to the left. And that's probably the one he's talking about. What's the channel? Yeah, Raider channel. With all three people,
Asian
right?
Bunny X. Asian Bunny X.
I'd have to type out a raid because I don't have the raid button that they said.
This is just under recommended. I happened to look over and see gaming channels with 90,000 people watching.
Yeah.
Oh, then he put the link right in there. Super helpful. Right in the nick of time.
Look.
There you go. Oh, she's right there.
Yeah, but my wife wouldn't give a shit anyway.
My wife wouldn't either. Anyway. I was like, it's not. It's just following along with the crowd.
And you could say I raided and you had no choice.
Oh, yeah.
Because when I raid, everyone in the room that stays in the room goes over to the raid.
Huh.
But I don't think I can raid from StreamYard.
Oh.
Let's see, I'll open this up and see if I get an echo. It is not on my recommended list.
Well, 6-Speed Pencil Joe said, "Whoa, she went up 500 viewers after I mentioned your channel in here."
What?
6-Speed Pencil Joe said, "Whoa, she went up 500 viewers after I mentioned her channel in here."
Yeah, I'm sure there's 500 viewers in here that went over there.
Funny thing is, she's celebrating Chinese New Year.
I just had to go incognito for a minute. I had to go mute for a second. Yeah, like, you know, I'm grown up and I realize if I wanted to see naked women, I wouldn't have to go look at somebody dancing in a thong to do it.
That's not to say I wouldn't go look. I wouldn't have to.
Apparently you got the link if you really want to. I know that's not to say I wouldn't look if it was right there in front of me, but I'm not chasing anything down. I think maybe we'll do this Batman as a giveaway. It's possible. Trying to see if there's an echo.
I didn't hear an echo.
Well, I just opened Twitch in a browser.
Six-Speed Pencil Joe said, "Send that to Eric July."
No, I ain't giving shit to Eric July. Why would I give anything to him? He owns a million dollar business, multi-million-dollar business. So, you know, he doesn't need my art. And if he does, he could pay for it. Because, you know, he runs a multi-million-dollar business. Besides that, he wouldn't want my art. I don't use SketchUp. Or 3D modeling and all of those controversial things. Well, he's done. Now we've got to figure out what I'm doing next. The SketchUp, yeah. Okay, well, I would do a poll and put up votes and all that, but we got like one person talking in the room at most.
Yeah, that is a good looking Superman.
Alright, well, I guess that's it for the night.
Okay.
Well, it's done. There's nothing else we're doing. We're not really talking about anything in particular. I'm being informed that I'm loud.
Oh.
Which I have no idea how that is because before this started, remember, I turned my mic up so I wouldn't have to talk loud.
Right.
And I haven't been talking loud and my voice is cutting in and out anyway, so. But apparently it's too loud. I guess.
Well.
But anyway, this is done. You got stuff for tomorrow?
No. Wait, no, that's not true. Wait, no. I don't know. You'll have to ask me tomorrow.
Right. Well, if you hang out for a minute after stream, then I'll talk to you for a minute.
All right.
But yeah. So, yeah, this is it. Good night. God bless. Much love.
Peace.